Hi, it's Iris the biology tutor. Welcome to my channel. Today we will be exploring the hierarchy of life. Let's pretend we have a giant magnifying glass as we explore each level. First, we start off in space, looking at the Earth. This level is called the biosphere, and it's made up of all of the environments on Earth that are inhabited by life. The biosphere includes the land and the water on our globe. If we zoom in a bit closer, we reach the ecosystems. An ecosystem is made up of all the living and non-living things in a particular area. For example, a forest of trees with soil, rocks, different animals, and even the air in the region makes up that particular ecosystem. Now, if we use our magnifying glass to zoom in even closer, we reach the communities. A community is made up of the entire organisms that live in an ecosystem. The communities in a forest ecosystem would include the owls, spiders, trees, other plants, and even the bacteria that you can't see. Next, if we zoom in closer, we reach populations. A population is a group of the same species that live in a certain region. For example, in our forest ecosystem, the entire group of owls make up the owl population. Now, within each population, there are individual organisms or living things. For instance, within the owl population, there are individual owls. Now for the fun part. It's time to zoom in into the specific organisms. If we zoom in on a living being, like a human, we will see some organs. An organ is a body part made up of two or more tissues. Don't worry, I'll explain what tissues are very soon. Here, as the example, you can see skin, brain, kidneys, stomach, and lungs, which are all organs of the human body. If we zoom inside an organ, we will reach tissues. Tissues are a group of similar cells that look similarly and function similarly to support a certain purpose. For example, here I drew a 3D version of some epithelial tissue or skin tissue, which is made of skin cells. These skin cells all look the same and are clustered together to make up the skin tissue. Okay, now it's time to zoom into the tissues. Tissues are made up of cells, which are the most basic unit of life. Cells are dynamic units that are responsible for all of life's processes. Here, I drew a bird's eye view of an animal cell. Notice how there are different structures within the cell called organelles. We will talk about this next. Within the cell, there are organelles, which are functional components that make up the cell. For example, the mitochondria is an organelle found in plant and animal cells. The mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell because it can convert chemical energy like food into cellular energy like ATP. Next, if we use our magnifying glass to zoom in a bit further, we reach the molecular level. Although molecules are technically non-living, they still make up everything around us. Molecules are chemical structures made of two or more atoms. For example, water is a molecule made up of 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. Water can be represented by the chemical formula H2O. And finally, at the end of our journey, we reach atoms. An atom is the smallest unit of matter. To help picture this, pretend I have a block of cheese. Even if I had a super thin knife to cut the cheese, the smallest piece of cheese that could be cut without releasing any chemical charge would be an atom. But what is an atom? As drawn here in the example, an atom is made up of protons in red, which are positively charged particles, neutrons, which are in blue, which have no charge, and electrons, which I drew in black, which are negatively charged particles. So, in other words, we're just existing in a bunch of chemicals. Okay, now it's time for a quick review. Let's quickly zoom back out into outer space. We start at the biosphere, move into ecosystems, then into individual communities, then to certain populations, next into certain organisms, then into specific organs, then into tissues, then into cells, into organelles, into molecules, and finally we reach atoms. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was super informative. Please like this video, comment down below, and subscribe to my channel for more content.